everyone who commanded the Enterprise besides Kirk and Picard in Star Trek movies. When you think of the USS Enterprise, two names instantly come to mind: Captain James T. Kirk and Captain Jean-Luc Picard. They are, after all, the legendary figures of Star Trek, immortalized in both the television series and the silver screen. However, the Enterprise has had a storied history with several other captains taking the helm, especially in the movie universe. From the intrepid to the controversial, here's a look at everyone who commanded the Enterprise besides Kirk and Picard in Star Trek movies. 1. Captain Willard Decker, Star Trek, the motion picture 1979. Before Kirk returned to the bridge in the motion picture, the USS Enterprise was under the command of Captain Willard Decker, portrayed by Stephen Collins. Decker was a by-the-book Starfleet officer, promoted rapidly due to a combination of competence and lineage. He was initially assigned to lead the Enterprise on its first mission following its extensive refit. Decker's command style was methodical, almost rigid, contrasting sharply with Kirk's improvisational instincts. His tenure, however, was tragically brief, as the crew faced the enigmatic VGER. Decker's fate intertwined with that of the ship itself when he merged with the VGER entity to save the Enterprise. While his time as captain was fleeting, Decker's story illustrates the dangers and sacrifices of command within Starfleet. 2. Captain Spock, Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan 1982. After Kirk was court-martialed for leaving his post during the motion picture, Spock took temporary command of the Enterprise. In The Wrath of Khan, the ship faced one of its deadliest adversaries, Khan Noonien Singh. Spock's time as captain was brief, but pivotal. Leonard Nimoy's Spock brought a unique perspective to command, blending logic and duty in ways Kirk often bypassed. Spock's calm, analytical approach helped the Enterprise navigate dangerous encounters with Khan's forces. Although he quickly ceded command back to Kirk, this period underscores Spock's capacity to step into leadership when circumstances demanded. 3. Captain Christopher Pike, Star Trek, Discovery film/related canon reference. While Pike is more prominently featured in Star Trek, Discovery and referenced in other series, he is occasionally mentioned in film adaptations as a prior Enterprise captain. Pike's tenure predates Kirk, and he is often portrayed as an idealistic, courageous leader. His most notable moment in movies is more of a narrative bridge than a direct command, serving as a reminder of the Enterprise's legacy before Kirk's legendary career. Pike's command philosophy emphasizes moral clarity and decisiveness, qualities that inspired Kirk and set a precedent for future captains. 4. Captain Will Riker, acting captain, Star Trek, Nemesis 2002. While Jean-Luc Picard is the mainstay captain in the Next Generation movies, there were instances of temporary command. In Star Trek, Nemesis, Commander William Riker assumes command when Picard is incapacitated or away from the bridge. Riker's approach balances pragmatism with a willingness to take risks. His time at the helm, though not the focus of the film, demonstrates the flexibility of Starfleet command. Starfleet officers are trained to lead on short notice, and Riker's performance exemplifies the seamless transfer of responsibility that keeps the Enterprise operational even in critical situations. 5. Captain Montgomery Scott, occasional/creative consideration. While mostly serving as chief engineer in movies, Montgomery Scott occasionally assumed command during crises, particularly in situations where the captain was unavailable or the ship required immediate action. In Star Trek III, The Search for Spock, Scotty's leadership is indirectly highlighted as he orchestrates complex maneuvers to reclaim the Enterprise. Though not officially listed as captain in the credits, Scotty's ability to command reflects the inherent versatility required of Enterprise officers. Starfleet's chain of command allows for emergency situations to be met with competence, even by those whose primary roles are technical. 6. Captain Hikaru Sulu, fan speculation, and expanded universe. Although not formally depicted commanding the Enterprise in movies, Sulu's promotion to captain in Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country, and expanded universe materials hints at his potential as a future Enterprise commander. George Takei's Sulu represents the adventurous spirit and calm decisiveness necessary for command, and it's easy to imagine him leading the starship in cinematic adventures if the timeline had extended further. Why other captains matter. The presence of multiple commanders besides Kirk and Picard is more than a fun trivia fact. It reflects the rich tapestry of Starfleet operations. Each captain brings a distinct philosophy, whether it's Decker's rigid adherence to protocol, Spock's logical precision, or Riker's tactical adaptability. These moments also highlight a recurring Star Trek theme. Leadership is not about the person, but the principles and values they uphold in service to their crew and mission. The movies may focus on Kirk and Picard,